Okay, so we are now on the next page of our Notable. This should be the second video that you're watching. If this is the first video that you're watching, you need to go back and watch the first video first, and then come watch this. So it says build your vocabulary. An expression is in simplest form when the terms can no longer be combined. So that means that there's no more like terms. All the terms are unlike. Oh, and I spelled simplest wrong. This should be simplest form when the terms can no longer be combined. Okay, it says simplify each expression, provide a reason for each step. Now, we're going to do this a lot in this class, but today I think is the first time that we've done this. We're just going to cross off this step here, and we'll get back to that later on. So our first example says 6a plus a. Well, what I like to do is I like to circle my like term. So I'm going to circle 6a, and I'm going to circle a. So we have 6a plus a is equal to 6 times a plus 1 times a. Now all we have to do is add 6 and 1, and that's how many a's we have. So we get 7a. We add 6 and 1 to get 7a. All right, number 6. Again, I'm going to get my like terms. So I'm going to put a circle around this 7k and a circle around this positive 8k. And that 2 is not a like term, so I'm just going to maybe underline that one, do something different under that one. So again, I'm going to cross off this step. And this just, what it says commutative property over here, it's just saying, oh, we can switch this around, like 7k, then we can put plus 8k, then we can add that too. Now, how do we add this 7 and 8k together? We just say add 7 and 8, which is 15k, and add that too. So I want to make sure up here that I am circling my like terms and underlining unlike terms, making some kind of difference. Okay, so now we're going to use the distributive property. Now, it's kind of weird with like and unlike terms. You can add, or excuse me, you cannot add like and unlike terms. So you cannot add, but you can multiply. So you cannot add them, but you can multiply them. So we know about the distributive property. It says that, okay, this 4 is on the outside. We want to distribute this 4 evenly to the 7r and to the 11, both of those terms. So I do my little arrows, my little rainbows. And we use the distributive property, so it says 4 times 7r, and in our second box we should have 4 times 11. You multiply 4 and 7 to get 28, but remember you can't forget that r, so you got 28r. Now you multiply 4 and 11, and you get a positive 44, and you're done. This is in simplest form because 28r and 44 are not like terms, so you cannot add them together. Notice how you could multiply 4 and 7r, because remember we can multiply, but we cannot add. Okay, let's try number 8. Number 8 says 7x plus 4 times 3x minus 2y. All right, so first thing we want to do is use that distributive property. 7x plus, what is 4 times 3x? Well, that gives us 12x. And what is 4 times 2y? Oh, we get 4 times 2y. So 7x plus 12x minus, notice how there's a minus sign here, minus, what is 4 times 2y? Well, that's just going to give us 8y. Because again, we can multiply them, multiply unlike terms, but we cannot add or subtract them. Maybe we should add subtract to this. Cannot add or subtract. So now what do we do? Again, we're going to cross off this step here. Now I want to box my like terms or circle them. So I'm going to circle my 7x, and because there's no sign right here, we're going to assume that it's positive. What's the other like term to 7x? Oh, it's this positive 12x. My third term is negative 8y, and it's right here, negative 8y, and it is unlike 12x and 7x, so I'm going to box this one, not circle it, because I know that circles and boxes can't go together. So I add 7 and 12, and I get 19x. And what do I have left? I have left this negative 8y. So I just add that on to the end. This is in simplest form. Why is this in simplest form? Because you cannot combine x and y with subtraction. So you're done. Okay, so now this is your turn. Go ahead and try A, B, C, and D. And pause me here. See if you can do it on your own. Check your answers. Okay, so here are the answers to A, B, C, and D. Notice how when we used the distributive property, I had to write a few steps before I finally got our final answer. I'll go ahead and box my final answer on those ones. So if you have any questions, make sure you make a mark and ask me either right now or tomorrow if you're watching this tonight. So on to the next page. Build your vocabulary. Okay, so it says if you know the value of a variable, you can solve an expression by substituting the value and evaluating the expression. So it says, at his job, Manuel received a salary of $50. In addition, he earned $D for every CD he sold. He sold 23 CDs on Saturday and 16 CDs on Sunday. Write an expression in the simplest form to represent the total amount of money he made for those 2 days. So, how many CDs did he sell on Saturday? He sold 23 CDs on Saturday. You're going to multiply that, this is a raised dot, by the earned, by the D, which is the dollar amount he earned per CD, and we know that from that. Now, how many CDs did he sell on Sunday? He sold 16. We're going to times that by the dollar amount he earned per CD. Then we're going to add his salary here, which we know is $50. And we know that from the problem here. He received a salary of $50. That's going to equal the total that Manuel earned. So we see here 23D plus 16D plus 50D. What are my like terms? My like terms are 23D and 16D. My unlike term is that positive 50D. Again, we're getting rid of this problem, or this step. What's 23 and 16? Well, let's add it. 23 and 16 gives us 39. Let's not forget our variable, which is D. And we add 50. And over here, what did we add? We added 23 and 16. So this is our expression for how much he made on those 2 days. Because he sold 39 CDs, we're going to times that by the dollar amount he makes per CD, which we don't know yet. And we're going to add to that his salary of $50. So that's our expression, because that's what we had. It says write an expression in simplest form, and that's what we've done. Now we're going to evaluate our expression. So it says if Emmanuel earned $2 a CD, how much money did he make? We want to substitute $2 in for D. So instead of this D going here, we're going to substitute in a 2, meaning $2 per CD. So let's go ahead and do that. 39 CDs He earns $2 per CD, and then of course he has that $50 that he earns for his salary. Now, order of operations, so we got to do 39 times 2 first, and we get 78. We add to that the 50. So what are we adding? We're adding 78 and 50. And what do we get when we add 78 and 50? Try and beat me. 128, I think is right. $128, right? Because remember, with word problems, we always have to label our answer with a unit. So Manuel made $128 that weekend. And we are also putting it in complete sentence. So if this were your problem and they didn't do this for you, we'd have to put it in a complete sentence. So Manuel made $128 that weekend. All right, now you guys try. Your turn. First, A, you're writing an expression. B, you're solving it, just how we did with Manuel. We first wrote an expression over here. Remember our expression? And then we solved it and got $128. So for A, you write your expression. B, you solve it. Pause me here, see if you can get it. Okay, so here should be your answer. For your expression, you got 14D plus 100. You substituted 5 in for that dollar amount, D, and you got $170. And of course, you put your answer in a complete sentence because I told you you would have to. So you got Carly made $170 selling cell phones that weekend. All right, if you're all done with this, then go ahead and start on assignment number 16.